Thank you for tuning in to TK On Demand. I'm Taylor Knight, and today we're going to continue our coverage on the coronavirus. But today I have a special guest and wants to share their experience and how it feels to be a part of the vulnerable population, having to deal with what's going on today. Let's welcome Tamika.
Hello.
So thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate you being able to come on here and share your story on how it feels to be a part of this vulnerable population that has to deal with the madness going on today.
I have Sickle Cell Anemia, SS, which is the strongest strand. Basically, my red blood cell is supposed to be shaped like a donut, round, plump, flows through the blood easily. However, mine are shaped like a crescent. So like the moon, so when I get stressed or dehydrated, or if I get an infection, I can get into a sickle cell crisis. Therefore, means my red blood cells have difficulty passing through my joints, so they'll get caught up in your joints, which then causes severe pain. Imagine like the worst pain you've ever had in your life, and that is what a sickler is feeling when they're in a crisis, like non-stop. I mean, I still have to go to work. I do have a young son, and I still have, bills that I have to pay and provide for my son. So I can't really just say can't go to work. I just got to take extra precautions. It puts me at risk because I am an essential worker. I am a mental health therapist and I work in the field of addiction. So I work in a substance abuse treatment center. So we have not been able to shut down or work from home. So I have to go out daily.
Wow. I definitely can't imagine being in your shoes right now, having to deal with that and that constant feel like you have to go to work because you're an essential worker. So it's like you're doing a service to our people, to everyone who's out there still. Yeah. But then you also have to put yourself on the back burner because you want to help out people. And at the end of the day, it's your job. So that's very commendable for you to even continue doing that. I know some people have left their jobs because they think it's just too much, but the fact that you're still willing to go out there and serve the community is great.
But I will say, I just recently had a sickle cell crisis. It started last Friday. And with my condition, sometimes I don't have a trigger. People will be like, well, what was this trigger? Sometimes there is no trigger. Like COVID, I was just like, I don't want to go to the hospital right now because going into the emergency room is just putting me at risk to now have a crisis and to fight off COVID at the same time. So on Monday, I went to my hematologist and she was able, to get my meds corrected. And that's really all I could do was just take the pain meds, use my heating pad, drink a lot of fluids, and just rest. Compared to what I was last Friday to this Friday, it's 90% improved.
That's tough. That's a very tough call, but I'm happy to hear that you're doing well. You're each day is progressing, you're getting better.
Even with my son, his behavior has, oh my gosh, been terrible. He's just gotten up over here. He's a 3-year-old boy. He's rambunctious, has tons of energy, and now he's just cooped up in the house.
So what would you recommend for other people out there who are in this vulnerable population? What do you recommend they do in situations like this happen?
Make sure you're washing your hands. Make sure you're taking your vitamins and just focusing on your health. And that comes first, because I didn't go to work this week, essentially, because I couldn't. I'm just I feel like I'm dying. There's no way I can run a group.
Do you have any resources for anyone who also has sickle cell anemia, wants to get more information on how they can cope with it in a different route, or people who just want to know more about that as well? What can they do? What websites, what resources would you provide so they can check that out?
Patients and Patients is a great organization that can provide psychoeducational information. We have advocates as well, because sometimes, believe it or not, people who have sickle cell, they don't understand the disease itself. And many people, when you say sickle cell anemia, they're like, what's that? It's not a well-known disease, but it is more predominantly found in the Black community.
Thank you for that information. That was definitely a lot of information I can take in and I can share with our community to just let them know what this is all about and how your experience as well as, again, being someone in the vulnerable population. It's not just, because I know there's some people out here who are having cookouts, having block parties, and it's not safe. It's not safe. Everyone needs to take precautions, take this serious.
Take care of yourselves, and your health comes first. Your health is wealth.
That's true. All right. Well,
Thank you
again for tuning in to TK On Demand. I'm Taylor, and thank you again, Tamika, for sharing your story with us.
Bye. Thanks, Taylor. Bye.